Legendary Dex 2 was released on October 7th, 2016. Typically, products like this don't contain much in the way of competitively viable cards, but one card in particular, Ties of the Brethren, attracted a lot of attention as a possible option.
In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content.
We're continuing our coverage of YCS Minneapolis for one more week, and that's because featuring in the top 4 in a deck by Aaron Furman is a card that we really had no idea if it was good or not. One of the strangest releases in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ties of the Brethren is a spell card that allows you to pay 2,000 life points, target a level 4 or lower monster you control, and then for the rest of the turn you can special summon monsters. You get to special summon 2 monsters with the same type, attribute, and level, but different names from that monster, and you can't conduct your battle phase the turn you use it. This is one of those anime cards like Card of Demise where they had to slap like 14 additional restrictions on it because otherwise it'd be incredible. But as is, it still reads okay. You get to target a monster you control and summon a bunch of monsters of the same type and attribute but different names from your deck. People were clamoring to find out what this Legendary Dex 2 card could do in the modern metagame. And its most perfect home was in this, Magispector. We've looked at Magispector decks a couple of times here, but mostly in the context of Metal Foes, where you use something like Bunbuku as an additional way to get a Kirin into rotation. That's easy to special summon in Metal Foes because you have the scales for it, but here we are playing straight up Magispector. But Magispector does have a lot of promise as a singularly focused deck. I think I've even won an episode of History of Yu-Gi-Oh! With them, and that's because of its powerful spell trap lineup. Magispector Tempest is sort of Solemn Strike. Magispector Tornado is a removal spell that banishes. Magispector Cyclone destroys an opponent's card by attributing a wind spellcaster type monster. Their monsters, Bunbuku, Ogama, Yada, Nekomata, and Kyubi, all resist destruction and form a really powerful resource loop during a time when pendulum summoning was extremely good. Remember, we haven't changed the master rule yet. The biggest problem with this deck, unfortunately, is that it's only got 15 good monsters. As you can see in front of you, Kyubey, Bunbuku, Ogama, Yada, and Nekomata are all pretty powerful, and Kirin's okay as a one-of because it's so searchable, though it doesn't really do anything as it requires your normal summon. Essentially, you're trying to find 2 monsters with different scales and a Bunbuku to special summon so you can then add Kirin to then normal summon the Kirin just to get 1 piece of disruption online on your first turn. That's a huge ask in a deck that only has 15 hits and is full of powerful trap cards that you want to search rather than draw. But Ties of the Brethren kind of fixes all those problems, doesn't it? All of a sudden, you don't even have to worry about pendulum summoning turn 1. Scales be damned. Slap down that Bunbuku, fire off Ties of the Brethren, and suddenly you've got 3 disruptions from your opponent's first turn. Couple that with a board that can't be destroyed itself, and you will probably survive until the next turn, at which point you will so overwhelm your opponent in advantage you can just set scales, pend 3, and then get that Kirin from your deck via Bunbuku's effect. It's a perfect fit in this archetype, but unfortunately doesn't see much success after this event. The Magispector line just plays a little too close to the ground relative to how combo decks are going to evolve. For now, let's enjoy this. We've got 3 copies of Eccentric, 1 copy of Luster Pendulum, 3 Nekomata, 3 Yada, 3 Kyubi, 3 Bunbuku, 3 Ogama, 1 Kirin, 1 Magispector Cyclone, 2 Majesty's Pegasus, triple Pot of Desires, you love to see it, 1 Secret Village of the Spellcasters, and 3 Terraforming to get there, 3 Ties of the Brethren, 1 Upstart Goblin, and 41. It actually does make sense. You're going to be searching cards like Magispector Tempest and Magispector Tornado, so it'll have a bigger chance to hit power 1-ofs like Solemn Warning. In the side, we've got, just like last week, 3 copies of Ally of Justice Quarantine, 2 copies of Max C, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki, double Twin Twister, and triple Drowning Mirror Force. In the extra, we've got our 1 legally mandated copy of Ignister Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer, and then a bunch of 4s, Castel the Skyblasker Musketeer, Diamond Direwolf, Double Key Dory, Magister Paladin, number 30, number 39, number 47, number 82, number S39, Utopia the Lightning, Grampulse, Phantom Knights of Breaksword, and Totem Bird. So with that, Here's Alex.
I know a lot of people are going to be excited for this episode just because we get to bring back an old favorite in Mermail, but it's not really Mermail anymore. It's more of an Atlantean deck, courtesy of the newly released Neptibus the Atlantean Prince. I shouldn't say newly released because what's strange about this deck is that it's been legal since like January or February of 2016, but it took all the way up until like September, October for people to actually start playing this deck at the YCS level. I think it may have had like one other premier top prior to this, but around this time, there's several YCSs like in succession that this deck actually does have a top, if not multiple tops. And so we figured we would be doing a disservice if we didn't cover it, especially considering this is a deck that A, lot of people love, and B, is quite an interesting deck. So this is Atlantean. So this is interesting because when you see this, this is actually like a going second deck, and everything you've got in here, you're just trying to OTK on the first turn because Neptibus is just a one card combo for a million different things. It's a one card combo to get to the Cimoooooooo Glacier, to rip 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. So you could theoretically go first, but like if you do that, you're just like ending on Moulin and like maybe like an Abyss Sphere or a couple of hand traps in hand. So I don't know if that's optimal. I think it's just better to kill them because Neptibus is also a one card OTK. I think as long as you have one other water monster of any sort in your hand, then you're good because you need to have some fodder for Megalo. But let's do the card by card. We've got 2 copies of Dragoons, 2 heavy infantry, 2 marksmen. We're just playing a nice 2/2/2 package. This is semi'd at the time, I'm fairly certain. And we only need 2 of these just because we need stuff to discard to be able to pop stuff. We have a copy of Diva because this card is limited. We have a few hand traps in the form of Valor, Ghost Ogre, and Maxi. And Gamma Seal is like sort of a hand trap, but you use it like on your turn to be able to just tribute over your opponent's stuff. If you're playing against like Blue Eyes at the time, you can just tribute over their Spirit Dragon. Any just big boss that you don't want to deal with, Gamma Seal can take care of. And it's pretty easy to pop because if you have something like Heavy Infantry, then you can just take it out when you're going for like a Megalo push. Then we have the Mermail, so we have 2 Gun, 1 Lind, because Lind isn't good in a going second deck because it doesn't really do a whole lot. And so that's why you only see 1 of this, where in earlier Mermail builds, you were seeing this played at like 3. We have triple Megalo, 1 Pike, triple Teus, a Cimoooooooo Glacier, and triple of the new Neptibus the Atlantean Prince. If you've never seen this card before, this card is bonkers. So you can send an Atlantean monster from your deck to the grave, except Neptibus, and add an Atlantean card from your deck to your hand, except Neptibus. So what's nice about this is that this is actually a cost to send. So if your opponent doesn't deal with this before they actually use the effect, you're going to get the send no matter what, which makes this very annoying for cards that negate the effects of cards. So hypothetically, what you could do is that you can go Neptibus, pitch Dragoons, and then add Dragoons, because it doesn't say you can't add the card that you sent or anything like that. And then you also get to get the Dragoons trigger because it was sent to the graveyard via a water effect. So this is effectively a +2 on activation if it does resolve. And then furthermore, if this card's sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, target an Atlantean in your graveyard, except Neptibus, special summon it. You can only use each effect once per turn. So a fantastic card, basically everything Mermail or Atlantean could have ever wanted. And hopefully we get to show off why that is in today's episode. For the spells, we have Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi. This is a card we haven't really seen Mermail play before. You equip to a Mermail, it gains 800 attack, and then it has a mandatory spell negation effect that then sends this card to the graveyard as a part of the activation. So that's kind of neat that you can just blank one of your opponent's spells. It also gives your board a little bit of protection. We have 1 Book of Eclipse in here just to help us get through boards a little bit easier. Triple Instant Fusion. This is nice because we can go into Norden just to continue our plays, maybe go for a rank 4 like Abyss Dweller. And Camion Wizard's in here as well because it's another 4 to allow us to be able to go into our possible Synchro package or even our Xyz plays. We have a 1-for-1 Raigeki, a Soul Charge double twin, again lending to the fact that this deck wants to go second. An Upstart Goblin because it's limited, funny enough, and 1 Abyss Sphere. Even though this is a going second deck, you can afford to play the 1 Sphere because it's still a decent card. The extra comprises of our aforementioned Norden and Camion Wizard. We have an Armory Arm, a Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, Coral Dragon, Herald of the Arclight, Chunbara, Cyframe Lord Omega, Tatsunoko, a Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier, and then we have double Abyss Dweller, a Mecha Fan of Beast Dracosac, an Abyss Gaios, and an Honor Arc. So you may notice that we are missing like Bahamut Shark Totally Awesome. That's because they are not out yet. Actually, in the next episode, I believe that is when these cards are released in Invasion Vengeance. And so this gives the deck actually a solid chance going first, because in addition to doing your Moulin Glacial line, I think there's actually the possibility to go into a rank 4 play as well, which is Bahamut Shark, to then go into Totally Awesome. So then not only did you rip 2 cards out of your opponent's hand, but now they have to deal with an effect effect negation as well that's going to steal whatever card that Toad negates, which is much more formidable than the prior. So the side deck comprises of 2 DD Crow, 2 Flying Sea, another Book of Eclipse, a 3rd Twin Twister, and then a bunch of going first cards. So if you blind second after winning the die roll, your opponent might think that that's what your deck wants to do, and they may force you to go first. So if that's the case, you can bring in triple anti-spell, double Drowning Mirror Force, double Floodgate Trap Hole, and double Trap Stun. We may side some of these in against Joseph anyway because of the deck that he's playing. Cards like Trap Stun, for instance, would be pretty good to be able to negate his traps so he can go off unhindered. And Drowning Mirror Force is a card that I don't think Magispectors have a clean out to, and it plays around the fact that they can't be targeted or destroyed. So it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure, and I really hope that we get to show the power of Neptibus, because even though this is Mermail, and even though it's like well past Mermail's prime, this is one of the craziest water support cards ever printed in this game's history. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to do it. So, Joseph, this actually really doesn't have much to do with the episode itself, but for the people who don't know at home, we typically film these episodes like 2 at a time because it's a bit more convenient for us to do so. And let me tell you, Joseph, I always feel like Mr. Rogers when I have to go to my closet, take off the shirt, put it on the hanger, and put on the shirt of shame for the following episode.
It's
brings me back to my
beautiful
childhood.
day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
Neighbor, would you be mine? This is going to be a weird one. 2 decks that a lot of people may not have expected to be like tier 1 or like competitively viable YCS topping decks when you first look at them, but both very powerful and explosive in their own right. My deck is a deck that has like existed since the beginning of the year 2016, and no one decided to play it up until now for some reason. Your deck actually just received some new support courtesy of the legendary decks, as a matter of fact, with a powerful anime card.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to play this deck. I remember when Titus the Brethren was first released, people were like, this is going to be the most powerful card printed in the last 10 years. And its legacy is a little different than that, but this was definitely still in the honeymoon period, and some people did see some early success with builds including it. I'm hoping to repeat that success here today.
It definitely feels like machine duplication, right? Where it's like, when it resolves, it's like, it's just like the best card ever, but if you don't have it at the right time, it's like the worst card you could possibly draw.
I would argue it's not like machine duplication. In the machine duplication, you do pretty much always win when you resolve it. This one, you can still lose.
I guess that's true. There's a lot of limitations on the card. Let's shout out the patron, Will Hooten. Thank you for the support. Buddy, I would roll a die, but I got to be honest with you. I think my deck blinds second, so I'm just going to let you go first.
Yeah. Oh, because I have to go first as a control deck. Oh, no.
And I know, like, if I'm wrong, I'm going to get roasted in the comments, but it's like, okay, what I can either, like, Mooling Glacia combo you, or I can try to kill you. And so I think the latter is better. Let's see your Ties of the Brethren opener, sir. Go ahead.
All right, this is not a good hand.
He says that.
Oh, I mean it. Yeah, this is a hand, if it had Ties of the Brethren, I would literally win. All right, so here's what we're going to do.
Set 4 pass.
Oh, God, could you imagine? Oh, please, I can only get so excited. We are going to normal summon Magispector Toad Ojama.
Yeah.
And we are going to set Magispector Tempest. Now, keep in mind, this can't be activated this turn.
Okay,
next,
very important.
We'll activate Magispector Pegasus. Majesty's Pegasus.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to tribute Magispector Toad Ogama to summon...
Okay, you ready for me to blow your mind? I'm going to Ghost Ogre you.
Fuck! I lose.
Thank you so much for that, because I actually think I was screwed if that Ogama stayed on the
Oh
field.
my god. Oh my god, I literally lose. Holy fuck.
Isn't this such a fun format? I love this format.
I'm going to cry, dude. Yep.
Okay, good. I win the game then. Stand by me.
Yeah.
Diva effect?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go for the boy. Where is he? Neptibus? Hello? There you are. Cool. Is this going defense? Nope. Can go any position. All right, we're fine. We'll go Neptibus effect.
Yeah.
We'll dump. I literally does not matter, I think. So we get to show off the OTK here, which is pretty cool. So we're going to get rid of... actually, why am I pitching Gamma Seal? What the hell am I doing? I'm thinking this is like Megalo or some shit. We're going to go dump Dragoons to add a Megalo.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dragoon's effect, we're going to add a Marksman to hand.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go Megalo effect here.
Yep.
Pitching the Marksman And the, I guess we can just pitch gunned. Sure, whatever. Yeah, marksman effect to pop. I'll go Megalo effect, sack off the Atlantean Prince to give him double attack. And I have Megalo's effect to add to hand as well, so I'm just completely skipping everything. So we'll add Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi.
Yep.
Throw that onto Megalo. We also have the Prince's activation here when he was tributed for the effect of a water to summon our marksman back to the field. And we'll just go battle. This is lethal. We have 200. Don't even need the Diva here. 1,400 from the marksman. That's going to trigger marksman to summon an Atlantean from our deck, which is Dragoons. If we can find him. There he is. 18 from the Dragoons, and this is 3,200 twice from the Megalo.
Yup. Good game.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Oh.
I figured it was fitting.
I want to let you know, if you would not Ghost Ogre, you were cooked. You were legitimately
I imagine I was.
Let's see if we can make the magic happen.
All right. Interesting going first again. I guess it makes sense. I was thinking you might make me go first.
This hand's not nearly as good. All right, cute. Let's go for Bambuku. Bambuku effect. Let's grab Yada.
Sure.
Pegasus, you know? It was Pegasus.
Sure about that?
Yeah, you got another one?
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
all right. Thank God. We'll get Obama here.
I got to be honest, aside from Pegasus, I think Ogre is like completely dead against you.
That's very very true. Let's go Ojama. We're gonna set Tempest. The thing is that the deck is actually just a little too interesting. We're gonna scale. I hate to do this. It's so bad, but we're gonna scale Kieran and Yada. We're gonna PS2. I guess I should put him in defense. Yeah, why not? Bada bing, bada boom. And then we are going to go Cube to grab a trap card. We're gonna grab Tornado.
Sounds good.
You know, that's just Magispector for you. Go ahead.
So Tempest is like strike, and then Tornado is just banish something.
That's exactly what it is, yes.
Cool. Standby main. You may not have to actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. Lame. All right. How are we going to get out of this? I will admit to you right now, my hand kind of blows. Yeesh. Yeah, this kind of sucks. Let's go. Yes, we go Neptibus. Got to get something out of you.
All right, well, that will get the Tornado.
So he will get banished.
That guy's, like, got more defense than the others. We'll lose Ojama here.
Sure. And, I got to be honest with you, Joseph, that is the end of my turn.
Cool. You got some time. You know, I got too much going on. Oh, you might actually
They're a bit
be dead.
tiny.
Let's go
Oh,
Pegasus.
Okay. I was going to say, with you having Pegasus to fuel your extra deck, I don't think I have as much time as you think.
Let's grab Bambuku.
Sure.
Bambuku.
Yep. Penned everything?
I guess so. I'm trying to... Is there like a guy I can go into that does something? How much is this? This has got to be lethal. I haven't done any calculation. No, it's literally not.
I was about to say, your guys are a bit tiny on their own for it to be lethal.
All right, I went Bunbuku into Bunbuku, right?
You did.
Did I trigger Bunbuku? I did. I added
you added QB.
This just happened. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. This is 1, 2, 3. That's... Oh, that's
Are you
very
just like
funny.
barely off?
No, I don't think I am. We're gonna pend.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
And then you have a trigger of Toad and Nekomata.
Yeah. We'll use Nekomata, you know, eventually. And then we'll use Toad to grab, I suppose, Tornado.
Makes sense.
You know what? Let's get Cyclone. That's
For
right.
variety.
We're playing Cyclone. We're going to overlay these two for freaking Nightmare Shark.
Oh, okay. Does that put you over the threshold?
I think so, because we are also going to normal Cube. Then we'll go Cube, grab someone. All right, let's try it out, I guess.
So what do we got? 15.
This is 18.
16. 2 18, so 36.
Yeah.
And then 2000. That's it. Yep.
We figured it out. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day for a neighbor.
Oh, man.
Would you be mine?
These last few episodes have just been truly
I don't know how
something
they're
else.
all watching it. I gotta be honest with you. You all gotta have something better to do with your time.
Clearly, yeah. So I had a difficult decision actually going into this game 3 here. My sideboard has a lot of cards for going first. The problem is I don't think like half of them are that good against you. And so I feel like I'm still more well positioned if I go second. And we'll see if I regret that decision. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, looks good to me. Okay, let's normal summon Magispector Toad Obama. We will activate the effect.
That's fine. We've seen this before.
I'm gonna set... God. I think actually Tornado is better against you because it deals with Neptibus. And then, buddy, it's
Tempest
time.
negates effects.
Fucking Ties of the Brethren, buddy.
Fuck! Okay, yeah, we get to see this card. Pay your 2,000.
Right, we're gonna target Ogama.
Okay, no response.
Okay, so here is kind of the crappy part of this is I can't summon cards with a different level, which means I can't get Bunbuku
Right, so you're locked into getting, what, QB...
and Yada.
Yada?
I guess technically I could get... Yeah, that's it. So we'll go Yada and QB.
You got 2 triggers there.
Yada will get Magispector spell card, you know? Let's go ahead and grab Cyclone.
Okay.
A QB, let's go get Tempest.
Sure.
And now that all of the one-ofs are out of our deck, Pot of Desires.
Fine by me.
It's okay. I don't really think it accomplishes much, to be honest. Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me see what's in here. A lot of cards I really like. Yeah, I normaled, and I can't special for the rest of the turn. All right, so unfortunately this turn I can't conduct my battle phase.
Very relevant card text. Okay. There's cards that do it. That is not one of them. Wow. Holy crap. I know this is the Tornado, and then you added Cyclone and Tempest, right?
Yeah, and those could be either.
Those could be either, assuming that, I mean, you could have other cards in hand, too.
Yeah, and I just kept Cyclone. I said, you
Could
know
be,
what,
it
actually...
could be. Hey, who knows? Who knows? It's possible. It's possible. All right, I think I've got a play. I don't know how good it is, I'll be honest. We shall see. What of these am I the most concerned? So I've got Twin.
That's crazy. That's, like, really strong.
I'm going to pitch this Ogre that I had for your Pegasus. I'm trying to determine what I care about more. Because I can almost decide what I pop. There's a 50-50 involved if I choose to pop the Tornado. But if I want to pop Tempest plus Cyclone, I also have the ability to do that. Again, assuming that's what those cards are. It could just not be that. I think I'm going to pop the 2 supposed unknowns.
Sure. So this is going to shock you. There's Cyclone and Tempest.
Okay, shocker. I figure it might be worth doing in case they were something else. Okay. Now I'm going to go Nordic here with Instant Fusion.
Okay.
Affect target Ghost Ogre. Anything here?
No.
I'm going to Sync, which will banish the Ogre, for Black Rose Moonlight Dragon.
Okay.
I'm going to proceed to the battle phase. I'm going to kill the Ogama.
I'll take 11 here.
Second main, that is all I've got. Go ahead.
All right, I'll draw for turn. Scale Nekomata. Scale Yada.
It's got the scales, sure.
PS 3. Yeah, 3.
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
And eccentric, sure.
Ogama effect. Let's grab Tempest. Let's go eccentric, pop Moonlight.
Moonlight down.
This is not lethal. In fact, it's not remotely close.
Not even close.
What can I do here? Well, we don't have Gaga Samurai, really, so let's just get the beats on. Whoa. Switch him to attack, Let's go 1,000.
1,000, 26, and 15. Sure.
Yeah, I think I just want to chill. We'll tribute Yada for Kieran.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. That makes things so fucking hard now. Other card is Tempest, right?
You know, let's do that main phase 1 so we can sink in another 1,000 damage. I forgot how combat works.
Okay, sure. That's fine. This is Tornado. This is Tempest.
Yes.
God, I think this was doable until you dropped the fucking Kieran on me. Now it's probably out of reach. Guess there's, like, no harm in trying, I suppose. No, there's just, like, no shot.
It's got to be Twin Twister, a card that checks Kieran Neptibus.
Yeah, I need, like, Twin Twister, Gamma Seal, Neptibus. And this may shock you. I have none of those. So.
Oh. I just assumed you had, like, 2 of them, and we're trying
I
to draw
have
the
one
third
of them. I guess I should clarify. I have one of those cards.
Okay.
That card is actually just dead to me anyway. We'll go Neptibus.
We are going to Tornado here.
Yeah. And that's all she wrote. The hand is Instant Fusion, Moulin Glacia, Dragoon. So, I don't know. Maybe I misread and you, like, are supposed to go first. It's weird, too, because it's like, you are the Ties deck, but the only real cards I have in the sideboard to stop you are Anti-Spell, which is, like, fine. It stops you a turn. Which could be all.
Oh no, Anti-Spell wins the game because I can't set scales.
Right, and then
that's not even necessarily true because like if I get Cyclone in rotation, it does kind of beat it eventually.
So then the other cards I had were Trap Stun as well, which is like not bad.
Again, fine, but Cyclone kind of screws up the math.
And then the other funny card is I did keep it in actually is Drowning Mirror Force, which actually does completely hose you.
Yeah, that one. That one's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, especially because I don't think you really have a way to, like, pop it. I think all of your stuff... Tornado and Cyclone are monsters only. Drowning, I figure's like, okay. So, like, but is that worth going first for? I guess my opening hand did contain Neptibus, so, like, if I did go first, hypothetically, I would have had some anti-spells in here, too. But, like, all I would have really done was rip 2 cards out of your hand with Moulin, which I happen to draw for turn. Fantastic. That's it? Like, I don't exactly know where else we're going after we Moulin you. It's kind of we just Moulin, and I don't think I would have sided any of these other cards out. I would have kept Twin in going first against you because it's still good. So I guess, like, arguably, we go, like, Moulin, set Twin. You go either Scales or set some back row, and then I Twin you, and, like, maybe we have a shot. It's hard to say.
No, I think this is a perfect encapsulation of the problems with this deck at the present moment. Like, Neptibus is such an impressively good card at OTKing. But the tools for going first are just unmatched during this period. Obviously, Magispector is everywhere, both in Metal Foes variants and Post-Brethren in just Brethren variants. I mean, this deck, I think, got top 4, and there's another copy in top 2 at this YCS. You know, even though they have Norden and Instant Fusion and Nep, there's just not that much it can do going first outside of Moulin Glacia in a format with a ton of one-card combos. The thing that's going to change all of this is, in a couple of weeks, Konami prints an incredibly powerful card for going first water decks that's going to radically change how this deck is built and played. And suddenly, not only does it have the capacity to go first, it's arguably better to do so just because Totally Awesome is so absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I feel like if I remember correctly, with your Moulin line, you're also able to do like a Bahamut Shark play and have Toad as well. So you have a much more formidable going first board. I will say, if I had regular Black Rose instead of Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, I could have popped the Tornado and then gone the Neptibus play. I had no way to check the back row, which is what made it frustrating. So I figured I had to just like try for something. That was my only opening that I could find, but it just was not good enough. I will say, though, I mean, Ties of the Brethren is like an impressive card. It's like you see it and you're like, damn, this is like insane, but it's not without its faults, right? I mean, if you look at the amount of text on this card, most of the text on this card is restrictions for if you activate this card.
This card's strange in that, yes, what you saw it do is what it's designed to do, and that invented a winning board pretty much out of nothing from me. But it needs a very specific deck and archetype to make playable. I talk about this a little bit in the deck breakdown, but the problem with Magispector isn't the cards don't do enough. Each one is independently crazy. It's that there's only 12 of them. You know, there's only 3 or 4 names you want to play, and then like you can play 1 Nekomata, which is kind of a crappy card. So it's almost impossible to draw a hand that includes what you desire, which is Bunbuku plus Scales, right? It's just not a very high % chance. So for hands like that, Ties of the Brethren lets you like role play a Pendulum Summon, right? and like pretend like you actually got everything you needed. But all these restrictions, the life point cost was also a huge barrier. Like that, if you had gone Black Rose, I would have been a sitting duck just because I had 6k. Like it's so easy to OTK from that position. That's why a majority of decks, as pendulum summoning becomes more consistent, as decks are more able to go wide more easily, this card just falls off the face of the map. I think once every 2.5 years, some like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro YouTuber figures it, reads this card for the first time and goes like, oh my god, you can summon Barrier Statue of the Heavens. And that's the only other interesting thing that's ever been done with this.
It's like, what else? Rock Stun might be the only other thing.
Oh,
like, there's
joy.
like a few, there's like a few weird things that this card is used for. But it's
there's
a funny
about to
design.
be. I guess I should. There's about to be one very specific deck that gets released momentarily that spends a couple of weeks experimenting with this card before, throwing it to the wayside like most of them.
Yeah.
But we'll deal with that next episode.
Yeah, and that's an exciting time. If you missed Kaiba, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. He's making a comeback. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all of their continued support. So shoutouts to Shout1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Medolce, Moto, Cameron Smith, Pony Stark, The Synchro Guy, Phoenix the Immortal, Dan the Man Hoban, Richard Enormous, Draconic, Jordan Coons, Jesse Wood, Valen Jackson, Chris Hood, Little Fadeleaf, Dylan Hunter, Cody Bretz, Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Indian Taisho, thanks for the sleeves, Dad, Max, Twinkle Muncher, Matthew Brady, Dalton, Luban, Yodaban. I've tried reading cards before. It was horrible, and my guinea pigs had to get me therapy. Helios515, CMOS Chaos Cooking Draft, Cheeks McLapperty, Stolfin Amethyst, Wonder Waffle, MBT Cancel by all community soon, Cancel by all committee soon, Cancel by all players soon, Shrugzix, the Crystal Beast Enthusiast, Corvain, and Grey9. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.